Okay, so we are ready to cut this out, and I'm going to start with this back piece. First of all, if I pull back here on the video, you're going to see where my hands are always back away from my circle. Okay, so I always make sure, I'm going to put my push stick aside for right now, make sure that my area is clear before I turn on the saw. I turn on the saw, and I'm ready to cut. So, I'm going to hold the workpiece back here. I've got my hand back here, and I'm going to gently push through the blade, and I'm cutting on the outside edge of my cut line. Now, you may notice that I'm not cutting all the way tight to that line. And that's for a good reason. That's on purpose. I can always cut more off, but I can't put it back on. So now you can see I just kind of ran the edge of that line. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Now, the urge, of course, is to take your fingers and go ahead and clear that out, but you don't want to do that. Instead, what you want to do is you want to take your push stick and you go ahead and just slide it forward like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my hand down here and catch it, and then put it right in the garbage can. Okay, not on the floor, on the garbage can. Okay, now for the relief cut. Now the relief cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it with two hands like this, and I'm going to make some relief cuts. Almost like holding the corn on a cob. Make a nice slow cut like that. I'm going to make it about every inch apart. Zoom in here a little bit so you can see tighter. There you go. I'm going to make one more right here. Okay, so now I have 4 cuts across that little arc area. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut along the inside of that line, like so. Now I'm not going to try and make every single, I'm not going to try and get it very, very close to that line, but I'm going to get pretty darn close, as you'll see here. And as I push, I want you to notice where my hands are. Zoom back out here. As I push forward, my thumbs are back here, and I'm just kind of guiding it, but I never turn the piece without pushing forward first. Otherwise, you're going to get the blade to twist, and of course, that would not be a good thing. I'm just going to slide that out again using my piece, and I clear the table onto my hands. Okay, now that I've cut about half that arc, I'm going to twist it around. Zoom in here so you can see it a little closer. And I'm going to go ahead and make this cut. Now you see that, if you can hear that grinding noise, you don't ever want to do that. You don't want to turn it like I did without actually pushing forward. You always, always want to move the workpiece forward when you're actually cutting. Very important. Now, the temptation is to go ahead and try to twist it in there, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to back it out. I'm going to turn it around and move this out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and come at it from this side because I have all that material gone already. And there you have it. So I've made a nice cut that I just need to clean off a little bit on. And again, you can always cut more off, but you can't put it back on. I'm going to just shave down to that line, take a little bit off with each pass. Again, notice my hand is absolutely not inside that circle. I'll be well back, but if I was going to cut inside that circle, I would go ahead and use my push stick, holding it on this end like this, or like that. Use this little wedge part, and I can go ahead and cut like that as well. But in this case, I don't need to do that because of the fact that I have enough clearance to hold it with my hands. And you can see we have a little bit of a rough cut here, but that's okay. We can take that down with our rasp when we get to the point where we start smoothing our car. So that is how you do a relief cut. And there you have it. And of course, before you do anything else, we want to clean the saw off for the next person. Make sure, notice I've made sure the blade is stopped. I can go ahead and reach down here and do that. And then you can take your broom, which is over here against the wall. Notice I have these mounted with the brushes facing out. Just go right on those hooks on the wall. And then you just go ahead and grab your wastebasket, hold it up here, and you can clean that out just like that. Okay.